What's up, everyone? Welcome to Hidden Gems, where we share quick tips, tricks, and things you should know about developing in the Ruby on Rails framework. Today, we are going to be talking about memoization. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you know this video will assume some basic knowledge of Rails and Active Record. If you need to get caught up, I'll include some links to some helpful resources in the video description below. Go ahead and check those out and come back here and watch this video. With that, let's get started. So what is memoization? Well, to get a better idea, let's take a look at Wikipedia. All right. So in computing, memoization is an optimization technique used primarily to speed up computer programs by storing the results of expensive function calls and returning the cache results when the same input occurred again. So basically what we're saying here is if we have some type of complex calculation to do, and we're going to need the result of that more than once, rather than computing it multiple times, the first time we compute it, we're going to save the result so that if we need to access it again, we don't have to redo that computation. So let's take a look at a really simple example of how this might come up in a Rails app. So let me make this a little bigger here. So I've spun up a really simple Rails app, used a scaffold to just make a basic user object. And in the user model, I've added these two methods. One, calculation result, that is going to call this other method, calculate, and assign that to an instance variable here. So the calculate method is just going to print out the line calculating and then return the string calculated once it's done that. And so here in the user's index view, I've just got a loop where 3 times we're going to go through and grab the first user and just call that calculation result method, this one here. So we should expect to see on the index page the word calculated printed out 3 times, one for each of these calls. So let's go ahead and start our server up. Cue the Jeopardy music. All right, here we go. So it should be up and running here. Very good. So let's go ahead and hit that user's index action, and just as we expected, we see our calculated string printed out 3 times from our loop. So if we take a look at the server output, we also see calculating printed 3 times. So this corresponds with this calculate method being called, and we're printing calculating each time that it gets called. So I'm going to show a really simple, super easy to do memoization technique. And what that's going to involve is using this or equals operator. So basically what this is saying is if calculation is undefined, if it hasn't been given a value yet, we're going to give it the result of what's on the right side of the or equals here. If it has already been assigned, we're just going to return the value that it already has rather than rerunning this code on the right side. So now that we've added this or equals, let's reload our page and see what we get. Okay, so as expected, we're still seeing calculated 3 times. But if we look at our server output, you'll see this time around, we've only printed calculating once. So that is our memoization in action. So the first time through the loop, calculation has not been assigned yet, so we run the calculate method. That's where we get our 1 printout of calculating. But the following 2 times, calculation has already been calculated, already been assigned, so we can just reuse the value that we've cached here using the or equals operator. So instead of running this calculation 3 times, we're only running it once. So obviously this is a very simple example, but you can imagine how if whatever action was going on here where we're calling our user.calculate method was something that was particularly computationally expensive, it definitely is in our best interest to save that value for later rather than calculating it again each time that we need it. Alright, y'all, I hope this video has helped give you an idea of what memoization is and what you might use it for in your own Rails projects. I'll include a GitHub link with the code from this example in the description below. Did I miss anything important in this video? Do you have any suggestions for future videos? Let me know down in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, or if you just want to help me fulfill my lifelong dream of doing a Raid Shadow Legends ad read, go ahead and give this video a like, hit the subscribe button so you can get notified about future videos when they release, and I will see you next time.